Listen, I know the podcast episode hasn't even started, but do me a solid favor and follow us, subscribe to us, and make sure you leave us a 5-star review. Bro, you don't understand how much it helps. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How do you drink your coffee?
I'll have a cappuccino, please, bro.
Bro, what do you think? I've got like the Ferrari dealership here, man.
Just whatever, bro. Just give me something. Do you know how to make coffee as well? Fuck, you're proper Moroccan. So strong, no sugar, huh?
Strong, no sugar.
How'd you come up with the name?
Coffee, bro. How do you drink my coffee? Strong, no sugar. I like my conversations.
So basically, I can bring my family here for free coffee. that's what you're telling me.
How many coffees do you have a day?
Bro, too many, to be honest. That's why this is my second coffee for the day. So if I start shaking and stuff, just edit it out in a way that doesn't make me look shaky, all right?
As you can see, the experience coming in.
Bro, you're proper, huh? This is just an excuse for you to have unlimited coffee, yeah? The podcast is just an excuse. Bro, thank you very much, bro. Wow, look at that. Get that on the camera, bro. He even did a design on it. Oh my God, he's so good. He's so talented. Inglewood Coffee and Rashid. Oh, amazing.
Good morning, guys. So welcome to the first episode of the Strong No Sugar podcast. Today, before we even go today, it's been a while of keeping this under wraps, putting it all together, and now we are finally here. I wanted my first episode to be setting the benchmark for all podcasts out there. So I had to recruit the big guns. So with me today, I do have one of my favorite. I can't necessarily pick one favorite creator, but pretty much video creators. He does similar content to me, the CEO of the area. That's the title that I give him. I'm here with Ibi.
What a fucking title. See that, guys?
CEO of the area.
CEO of the area. I'm getting that tattooed across my chest and I'm hiding it from my parents for the rest of my life. Thanks for having me, bro.
How are you, bro?
Really appreciate it. Amazing, bro. Amazing. Loving it, bro. Congratulations on the podcast, bro.
Thank you
and I
very
like how
much.
you said set the benchmark, but this is a very low benchmark with me, bro. I'm
Nah.
sorry. I'm sorry in advance, bro. I'm sorry to everyone watching. Very sorry.
Nah. We had to set the benchmark high, bro. In all honesty, everyone, the whole team was like, who we're going to have the first episode. I'm like, bro, it's got to be Ibi. Last time when we saw each other at the event, posted a photo together. Everyone was harassing me.
Yeah, same, bro.
Bro, make a video.
What are you
Make
gonna do? A video? They were angry at me. I'm like, bro, relax. What the fuck? I just we're having a laugh. Calm down a bit.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, we're just out and about. I'm doing our thing. I'm like, I'm not going to whip out my camera. They're like, cuz, do a video right now.
Immediately, bro. You have to do a video.
Pretty much, man.
Yeah.
Bro, come to the car park right now. Cuz, jump in the back
It was
seat.
like a threat. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I should be happy or scared for my life.
Yeah, man. So, obviously a lot of pressure there, but, it's overdue that we're both in the same room together and
100%,
actually talking on a video.
I 100% agree. Bro, you know what it is? When you have people that are very similar, you want to do stuff together. Do you know what I mean? And I'm actually really, really happy and honored, bro, to be the first guest on your show, bro. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate that.
I'll give you the 100 later, bro, having
Thanks,
me on.
cuz.
Thank you
Just
very much.
slip
bro.
under the table, yeah? Cash only. Hope the ATO isn't watching. So pretty much, man, just for the first episode, honestly, the whole concept of Strong No Sugar is that, just conversation. I like my coffee the way I like my conversations, and the Strong No Sugar pretty much just cut through the BS that's out there. As you probably already know, most podcasts are just aerators. People just talking.
You hear that, podcasters of the world? You're aerators,
That's
you're
it,
dogs.
Yeah,
I'm with you all the way, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I was like, bro, you know what? It's time, I'll step up and sort of do my own thing.
Long overdue, man.
Yeah,
100%.
man.
Especially someone like you, bro, where you got a knack for talking to the camera, talking about different topics and stuff as well. To do a podcast platform for you, I think is honestly perfect.
Let's hope it lasts more than 3 episodes.
Oh, bro, let's have lots more than this episode with me, bro.
After
Don't
this.
air this out to anyone but your family.
We're going to go downstairs, get arrested. Boys, get him. No, man. So a pleasure to have you. I think the first thing is sort of where I wanted to speak about is everyone starts somewhere. Myself started, everyone just has that moment where they're like, bro, I'm going to make videos.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know at what point because you started when you were 19, 18?
18, 19 is when I started. I never had a moment where I sat there and thought, you know what, I got to use my comedy in a video format.
Yeah.
It was legit. I've always relied on humor as like my go-to for everything since I've been young. Like growing up, bro, I don't know if the camera can tell, but I had a fucked up nose, a fucked up face. You know what I mean? I had nothing to rely on but comedy. Like it was my go-to and it was my outlet. Whether I was upset, whether I was happy, whatever emotion I was feeling, comedy was my outlet to go to. So I never had a situation where I sat there and thought, oh, you know what? Got to do a video. It was more like I had humor throughout my life, and then social media was really popping off. Facebook, this, that. Fuck, the area really did come out of me just then. Facebook, this, that, and everything was going good, but...
And then Snapchat came in and took
then
it all.
Snapchat, then my nudes went everywhere. But no, for me, it was like a moment where I enjoyed humor so much. I'm like, how do I share what I love to do so much? And I was sitting around at home.
Bro, were you a class clown?
Funnily enough, I got voted in year 12 as the class clown of the school.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So like other kids were winning accolades for like fucking academia and mathematics and English, and then they're like class clown Ibi. Like I was so proud. My parents and their belts weren't too proud. Like I copped it at home.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like that was the achievement. That's how I measured my success, even from a young age. How funny can I be?
Yeah.
And the fact that I got voted funniest in the school. Fucking that for me was the biggest achievement of my... Till this day, it's the biggest achievement of my life,
That was the vote of
I
confidence.
actually have the certificate somewhere here.
Because I'm asking for your birth certificate, bro.
But yeah, nah, comedy's been my thing for like as long as I can remember, and it's always been my thing. So I've been lucky enough to then start making little videos here and there. Started with like after I finished year 12, I just made a
Facebook,
video. Yeah, Facebook. So I made a video about how my dad would react to my ATAR score, regardless of how well I did, versus how like an Aussie dad would react.
Yep.
So my comedy started in racism. So it's been a good career. Like I haven't been cancelled yet. No, but I've been very, very in a lucky position to be where I am today and to be doing still be able to do comedy when I started when I was 19 and now I'm 26. Like for me, it's amazing, man.
100%, because like what you realize is, especially in comedy or like anything content related, like you get a lot of people, they'll do it for like a year.
Yeah.
And then after 1 year, they're like, ideas run dry. So
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. It's for me, it was never like, I never wanted to be crazy successful with it. I never thought about it to be like, oh, one day I could be doing amazing stuff with it, or I could be one of the biggest content creators. For me, it was just like, I enjoy doing this. I'll share it. And if people enjoy what I do, I'll continue doing it. And it just had like a snowball effect. I kept doing it. And eventually just led to me doing it like a full-time thing now. So
beautiful, man.
fucking lucky.
Was there like one video or like maybe a couple of videos that you were like, this is...
You know what?
This is the one.
Yeah. Yesterday in the shower, where all my thoughts and everything happened, I was actually thinking about it. And I'm like, what was the video for me that was like the video that took me from A to B, basically?
Yeah.
Like got me a little bit higher on the pedestal.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a video funnily enough, in Macca's car park. I was just doing like how Aussie boyfriends react to like a anniversary versus like ethnic boyfriends.
Yeah.
And like the Aussie boyfriend was taking the girlfriend to like Paris and enjoying everything. And then the ethnic one was like, let's go where we first met, Macca's car park. And that went viral on Facebook. I remember I had never seen a reaction like that.
Yeah.
And from there, it just sort of like got me some people's attention. And, you know, I was in there sort of like, oh, what is this guy be like doing now? And from there, I just kept uploading. And then it just kicked off, man.
Beautiful, man.
I'm grateful for it though. Like I can't, just like you know what I mean? Like we're lucky to be just doing what we love doing, and we're doing it like full time now. You know what I mean? So like it's just fucking luck, perseverance. I feel. I don't even know what that word means.
I was gonna say, because you read the thesaurus on the way here, bro.
I had to. I'm like fucking English words that I can use in sentences.
No, because like I think my next question was gonna be like, was there ever a moment? Because obviously now that's like 6 years of doing it, 7 years.
Yeah, 6-7 years.
Was there ever a time where you're like, fuck, bro, what do I make a video about now?
Bro, all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is for you, but for me, because you do so many videos, and when you think about it, if you're doing a video a week, like that's the minimum for me, doing at least a video a week, right? And you're doing it for 6 fucking years, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of fucking videos. There's only so much you can think of. There's only so much, like, you can make fun. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm still young, I think. in the eyes of my parents. That's why they'll never let me leave the house. So, like, for me, it's like, how many different concepts and ideas can you come up with that don't, because you can't, you know this better than anyone, you can't make a video that you don't like something similar about in the past.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't reuse the same jokes. You've got to constantly try to change it up a little bit. So there's been times where I sit there and like writer's block is like how that's the excuse that I use when I'm fucking dumb. Yeah. But I just say, I can't think of a video, I can't think of a concept or anything like that. It happens, but it's quite normal, I feel. But once I get the ball rolling a little bit, then it's just natural from there. Like when I first started, it was all improvised. Yeah. So I was just doing improvised videos, like on the spot, just get a camera out. I remember in work breaks, at work, I'd go into the car, record a video, then upload it. That's how easy it used to be. Then I'm like, fuck, I better take this serious. And I started writing out my videos, like fleshing them out more, making it a bit more like serious, like actually focusing on it. And that's when it got difficult. So I fucked myself basically. So fucking
You're like, bro, what? I go pro.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what it's like? It's like going from like the local footy club to actually getting drafted.
Yeah.
And then you're like, bro, I actually got to work like a dog.
Yeah, 100%.
Now to like make videos.
Now it's like, it's like you actually take it serious and you're like, if I'm taking this serious, let me do the best that I can do.
Yeah.
And I feel like people like us, we're very critical in the things that we do. And I think it comes from like our upbringing that you need to be the best in what you do. You're cleaning your room, be the best at cleaning your room. Taking out the rubbish, to be the best at taking out rubbish. You know what I mean? So I implement what I've learned in my upbringing into any like thing that I do. So that's why I'm happy to announce that I'll be releasing my Pornhub videos very soon.
Bro, I thought you'd go the OnlyFans route, but
nah, I want everyone to see for free. No one's
direct to consumer. Yeah.
You know, bro. But do you feel like that as well? Like for you, like there's writer's block, or like you sometimes get like stuck?
Yes and no, but I think I've sort of figured out like when I'm sort of going through like not a rough patch or writer's block, whatever you want to call it. I just like try and experience something different. Like it's, man, like I find myself, for example, sitting at home. I haven't made a video this week. What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
However, if I do something exciting or something that I don't usually do, it'll sort of like almost like a computer reset. And then it'll sort of like, okay, cool, let me flesh out this idea and sort of see what's going on. But writer's block always happens, like all it takes is like having a shit day at work, and then I find myself like, I don't even want to make videos. Like yesterday I was meant to make a video, but I was like, I had a lot of stuff at work, I had this the next day, and I was just like, nah. And do you find yourself when you make a video, have you ever like made a video and then just said, nah, this isn't it?
All my videos that I upload, I'm like, this isn't it. That's all my... And it comes back to the fact that I'm too critical in what I do. Like, and I realized this, I was actually realizing this the other day. When I upload a video, when I write a video, whatever it is, I'll rewatch it after straight away I upload it to see how it came out, right? And I won't find it funny at all. But then I'll go back to like videos that I made maybe months ago, and I'll watch them and I'll be like, fuck, that's actually funny. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm like, I'm the greatest human being on earth.
Yeah. Bro, I'd actually pay to see this bloke. Who is he?
Who's this cunt looks like me? But no, I think for me, like I watch videos straight away and I can't enjoy it. And it was like the conversation we just had. Yeah. I watch other people's videos, like similar content creators, like I'll watch your videos or someone else's videos. Yeah. I'll enjoy them, but I'll also be like critiquing them, or I was sitting there and thinking, how did they do this? Or what a great concept. Like they did it so well, or they could have done this better, or whatever else it may be. And I don't know. And that's, I think, part of the job, because other people can enjoy it because they're not doing what we're doing, I feel. Yeah. So, but when you're in it and you're doing it, it becomes something that you want to do on a full-time, like it's something that you want to be the best at. So how can you be the best at something if you're not trying to make it better, if that makes sense?
For sure. I feel like it's like that tradie in the family that comes into your house is like, cuz, who did this?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm like, oh, just the builder. And they're like, bro, he did a shit job.
Yeah, exactly. 100% like that, bro.
Like that. That's what, like, that's how it seems to me, at least. Like every time I'm like, nah, man, this could be better. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's like part of the game, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it's good though, because like if you're constantly like that, you can only get better.
100%.
But being too critical obviously isn't good because you don't enjoy it. And and one thing that I've realized now, just like doing stand-up and all that stuff, is that the journey is 100% better than the final result. Yeah. Like it's always the journey, always, always, always. So I'm trying to relax a little in terms of like critiquing everything that I do, and I'm trying to enjoy it a little bit more and being like, you know what? These are the moments that are going to build me into my next big thing or take me up higher. Why not have a little fun with it?
Of course.
That's how I'm starting to think more like. Or I say that at least, but then I'll go home and be like, I could have said that better, you dumb fuck.
or like someone will comment something funnier than what you.
Yeah,
Bro, like the
there's
comment
some
section on
funny
the
cunts
internet.
out there. I'm gonna delete the comments. I'm just like, hey, who do you think you are?
Cuz I need a ghostwriter, bro. You need a job.
Bro, sometimes they'll comment stuff and I'm like, shit, why
didn't I think of that?
And it's something that I'm like, usually I think like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
But they comment and I'm like, fuck you, my funny collab. Like, you know what I mean? I message them how much, brother, for that
Cuz,
joke.
yeah, bro, I'll slip you 100, yeah? I'll make you a coffee. Come. That's good, man. It's good to hear that you're having fun with it. And obviously the journey is, bro, obviously a lot more beautiful than the final destination.
Always, man.
You're having fun with it. What about your parents, man? What does your family think? Like, I'm talking like at the start, like sort of like where it kicked off. So like, let's say between the start and that Macca's video. And then what do they think now?
It hasn't changed, but they hate me. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a Macca's video or whatever. They still fucking hate me. Now, when I first started, I never told them about it. It was just something that I was doing on the side. Like, I was still trying to find a good job. I was still trying to do whatever I could to, like, typical.
Fresh out of high school as well.
Yeah, like, it's a typical ethnic mentality. Like, try to do something that makes your parents proud. That's all it was for me.
And I think it was like they were conservative as well. Like,
Very-
like my family,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just
Like my
conservative.
mum, she wears a hijab. My
Yeah.
sisters wear hijab. You know what I mean? I come from a very religious upbringing.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very grateful for that
Yeah.
because it instills morals that I think like will be with me for a lifetime, and only good morals. You know what I mean? It's nothing bad that I can take away from it. But when I first started doing videos, it wasn't something that was a real thing, if that makes sense. It was just something that I was doing. Just like I'd be hanging out with friends, for example. That's how my parents saw it. They're just like, it's just a fuck around. Whatever, do your thing. Who cares? As long as you're not doing something too embarrassing, you're not showing your bleached asshole online to everyone. Like, you can do whatever you want to do, you know? And then it started becoming a real thing, and I actually dedicated time to it. And then eventually it became a situation, like, they always looked at it as like, oh, you're just a joker. People think you're funny. Cool, do your thing. But don't forget that you need to have a good job.
Yeah.
You need to be doing something good, because when we ask for a hand in marriage from a girl overseas, they're going to look at that. They're not going to be like, oh, he's funny with the wig on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then over time, it became a real conversation where I'm like, I had to decide between pursuing something, a career where I was in a suit, doing my thing properly, like very proper, or I could pursue what I love to do, and that's comedy, and pursue it in a different format to what the conventional or the standard like way of doing it is. And I actually had a conversation with them. I sat them down, and I hid their belts. I hid all the sort of utensils that they could bash me with. And I'm like, listen, I want to do this as a full-time thing. I want to be able to make comedy my career. And the only way that I can do that is taking a risk, leaving my full-time job, very good job, very secure job, all that stuff. But I'm like, I have to leave that in order to like give myself no other option but to do well in comedy. That was the mindset that I had. I think I watched too much like entrepreneur videos and shit, and I'm like, fuck, bro, I gotta quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it became a situation where I'm like, there's no other, I won't be able to live with myself if I don't pursue comedy. And I had that conversation with my parents, and I told them, let me take a risk, because if I don't take this risk and I don't try to do this, for the rest of my life, I'll live with regret. And the only people that I'll blame, because I'll never blame myself because I can never be wrong. And to my future wife watching, understand that. But it was a situation where I'm like, if I don't take this risk and I don't do it now more than ever, then I'll live with regret, and I'll only blame you guys. And they said that, they turned around, they're like, you know what? Like, do the risk, but don't leave your job eventually. Like, go back to your job. And it worked out really well. I took the risk, took the jump, like, leap forward, and I left my job.
Perfect, man.
And this is probably a good time to announce that to my parents. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to call them quickly.
Just give them a buzz, put it on the microphone.
Hey, by the way.
Hey, by the way, cuz, you think I've been clocking in 9 to 5? I haven't.
Can I stay here till 5 o'clock? My parents think I'm at work, bro. Just like,
Bro, we'll set up one of the couches for you.
I'll take a nap right here, bro. I don't mind at this
Hey,
point.
comfy, huh?
Yeah, honestly,
Solid,
bro.
not bad.
Sick setup, man.
Nah, that's
Killed
good.
it.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
But your parents,
that's good.
they're like,
like I told you earlier, my mum being born and raised here, she sort of understood. She was more like, at the start, it was like, you know, she heard about it, but never really watched anything.
Yeah.
She's one of those like, why do I need to be on social media?
Yeah.
You know, type of people. And till like people at her work, because my mum works in community services.
Oh, wow.
So she's working with a lot of people, sees a lot of people every
Yeah.
day. So I knew eventually someone is going to come up to her and be like, watch this video.
Of this
Or, you
guy,
know, like
yeah.
do, you know, like, but just being in Melbourne, right? And
Yeah.
being in the
Of
area.
course, yeah.
Someone eventually is going to pull out a TikTok or pull
Yeah.
out a video And someone did.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, you should watch this funny guy. And my mum's like, that's my son.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so she was like a bit like, I didn't know you as big as, I just thought you made a couple of funny videos and ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Whilst like now she's almost like realized like what it is. And then there's my dad. He just doesn't speak to me about it. Just like typical like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You have a roof on top of your head? I'm like, yeah. Your wife good? Kids good? Yeah. Okay, cool. That's all I care about. And like that, and almost to the point where he doesn't want to understand as well, right?
Yeah, and that's
a
fair
different
enough,
sense of
though.
humor as well.
Yeah.
Like well, when I say something, he's like, you're not funny.
Bro, but I bet you, and this is the same with me, my dad doesn't find my videos funny.
Yeah.
Because I blocked him, he can't see them. But I find my dad to be the funniest on this earth.
100%.
Like there is no one funnier than my dad. Like my sense of humor, I wish could be like 10% of what my dad's, like when he's with his mates,
Yeah.
and he's speaking in like his language, like my
Yeah,
language,
of course.
then he is like on another level. I'm like, bro, where's this side been? All I got was the fist. Like, like where the fuck were these jokes? You know what I mean?
It's a bit like that because I realize like whenever I go to Morocco, where he's not stressed, he's a lot more
Yeah.
relaxed and everything. Bro, this guy's cracking out jokes.
Yeah.
Bro, cracking out like transactions that I never thought. Bro, it's like, oh yeah, of course I'll pay. Oh yeah, of course. Like he's cracking jokes, bro. All him and all his mates are laughing. And I'm
Yeah,
like, bro,
bro.
I'm lucky to get a 7-Eleven coffee back home, bro. You're looking at me like, bro, you're going to take the bill? And then I see that side of him in Morocco and it's the exact same, man.
Yeah,
And like I find him to be one of the funniest people I know.
100%.
But I think it's one of those stresses of, being a migrant parent, coming here, working, like making sure the kids are all right.
Yeah,
Only for me to
100%.
turn around and say like, yeah, bro, I'm going to make Instagram videos.
Yeah, I know. It's like a shock factor for them.
I came to this country for opportunities. This is
and you're doing this? What the fuck? You're wearing a wig? But no,
Pretty much, man.
it's you gotta appreciate where like your parents and stuff come from, and that's why like everything that I do, and I'm 100% certain that you're probably the same as well. Like we're not doing it for us to be like, oh yeah, like we got money or we got this, like we got status. You know what I mean? We're social media famous, whatever.
Yeah.
It's more like how can we provide a better life for those loved ones around us?
100%.
Whether it's for the family, whether it's for the parents, you know what I mean? Like I want to be able to get enough money that I can turn around to my parents and say, listen, you guys don't need to work anymore.
Kick back.
Relax, kick back, but try to get on Centrelink or something. You know what I mean? Like do something because I'm not paying you. You know?
Because this field doesn't pay like like wages, yeah? Just,
Exactly.
There's just spurts of big money and then that's it.
Nah, but I think, and that's why I have a very big appreciation for my parents and where they come from. Like coming from nothing, my dad used to drive taxis around. You know what I mean? Like when he was first came here, and it was hard for him. Then he like did his own business. He did his he's come from nothing, and to be able to like build something, for me, it's like I aspire to be half the man that my dad is. You know. So that's why like I will try to do the best that I possibly can so that my family can be rest assured that I've got them for life. You know. That's what it really
Beautiful.
comes down to.
How many siblings?
Too many, bro. I got 5 siblings, man.
Oh,
so
beautiful, man. That's inclusive of you or just
nah,
you're
not
the
included.
sixth?
5 siblings. I'm the eldest, so I'm one of 6.
A lot of weight on your shoulders, man.
Fucking don't tell me that, bro. I don't want that pressure. But I got 3 sisters, 2 brothers. But yeah, it's 3-3. My parents are very like, we cannot stop until we have equal number. But I think they got OCD, bro.
Yeah.
But for me, you're right though. It becomes a situation of like, I have to set an example. You know what I mean? Like, and I tell my siblings this and my younger brothers and sisters, like, don't look at what I'm doing because what I'm doing is it's very rare that someone can become successful in something like this and make it a full-time thing. Yeah. Focus on and I've told them, like, I don't have the typical, like, oh, go to uni, get a good education, become doctor, lawyer, whatever. Yeah. I've just told them, do what you love to do, but as long as that thing isn't something stupid, you know? Yeah. So there's a responsibility, I feel, that you got to constantly have with your siblings or whoever else, or with kids or whatever else it may be. And that responsibility is a whole other level, I'm sure. But, yeah, it's sort of like I want to set the best example for them. I try to do the best that I possibly can, but how well can you set an example through making videos? You know what I mean?
I think the best advice that I got was like, this is like working in the fitness industry, but this can also go for what we do. And it's like, do what I say, don't do what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you can do is
100%.
like advise them like, hey, do this because I'm telling you to do it.
Exactly.
Don't do what I do because you're just,
No,
it's
you're
not going to
100%
work
right.
out.
And you know better than anyone, like, considering you have kids and everything, you know what I mean? Like that, the pressure is there for you.
And the filter,
Yeah.
right? Because
Oh,
every
exactly,
video you
bro.
make, you're like, fuck, like what are they going to think?
Exactly,
Yeah,
man.
but not in a sense of like critique, but more so like, how's this going to reflect upon them, right?
Because, I would assume that's because you're a different man at home than you are online. Like,
For
because
sure, man.
you're a man at home. You
Yeah.
know, like you're the man of the house. You know, you have kids, wife, like you provide for. So it's sort of like you're not at home telling your parents, telling your kids, "Hey, change my mind." You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like that'll never happen.
Your
But
nappies are getting changed. You can't change my mind. And then I just tackle them to the ground.
But it's a situation of like, what are they gonna think? That's how I see it as well.
Yeah.
Like I think, what is my family gonna think?
Yeah.
What are these people gonna think when they see my videos? And it's not a situation of like, I could not give a flying fuck what anyone else thinks.
Yeah.
Like otherwise I wouldn't be doing videos. I could not give a fuck
Yeah.
what anyone thinks. Otherwise, like I wouldn't have even started.
For sure.
But it's more like the people that are important to me, like my mum, my dad, my siblings, what are they going to think when they see their older brother or their elder son
Yeah.
making videos, just acting out like fucking a crazy girlfriend or this or that, you know? So it's a hard balance you got to have, but I feel like no matter what you do, it's leading to a better point anyway, you know?
For sure. Do you feel like when you go out, like people almost like try and reflect your characters upon you?
Bro.
Like how many people, like I'll give you a story before you go into that. Like when I uploaded the photo with you, because, you know, to us it's just a meeting of, hey, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Yeah.
To others, it's like Steph Curry and LeBron playing on the same team. They're like, bro, what the hell?
Yeah,
Cuz
as if
they're-
you two
they're
know each
together.
other, yeah.
Like what the hell? And everyone is like, oh, bro, you met that Moe, don't worry. Like, and I'm like, you know, it's not like that. Like, bro, like the guy's just a gentleman, you know, playing different characters. So yeah, going back to my question, like everyone generally assumes you are who you are in like a 30, 60 second, 90-second
Yeah,
clip.
man.
Do you ever get put in a situation where people like reflect that back upon you?
Always, bro. It's never a situation like, oh, hey, Ibi, how are you? As sometimes you get that. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
You get the like those nice people that are like,
Do you
hey,
feel like the older they are, they're usually a bit more like
yeah, a bit more
like,
controlled.
oh, hey,
you know?
yeah.
And the younger they are, they're more like Moe. I'm like, bro. And look, no matter who it is, I will always appreciate anyone going out of their way to take time to take either a photo with me or talk to me, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I genuinely appreciate it.
And I think they don't realize that, like, to them it means a lot, but
Yeah.
to us it means more.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
man.
Because it's a vote of
100%.
confidence.
Yeah.
Because, bro, I find myself like walking in Chatty or walking at High Point, and people will be like just staring.
Yes.
But I'm like, are they staring because they hate me, or are they staring because like they've seen my videos, or do
Yeah.
they like think? But when someone actually comes up to you, hey, bro, love your videos, love this, it's like, wow, man, this is actually really good. Because yes, you get followers, yes, you get viewership, yes, you get some comments, but out of like, let's say 80,000 views, 100,000 views, you'll get like 100 comments or 200 comments. So
Yeah.
80,000 people aren't telling you exactly what they think.
Exactly, 100%. And it's the exact same. Like you walk through somewhere and people are staring at you, and I feel like sometimes it's sort of like they're trying to confirm in their head, is that the guy? You know what I mean? Then I always go to the sides for them to see my nose, and they're like,
Yeah.
that is the guy.
Side profile, 100% that's him.
But
Get him, boys. Nah.
we got him. We got him. ASIO, we got him. But yeah, no, you're right. It means a lot to them, but it means much more to us because it's sort of like what I'm doing is actually working. What I'm doing is like people are enjoying it. Because if I see a content creator, unless there's some sort of like, if I see a content creator in general, I won't go up to them and be like, wow, what you're doing is amazing. Unless I actually do find what they're doing is amazing. You know what I mean? So if they're going out of their way to come up to you and talk to you, take a photo with you,
Bro, it takes balls.
it takes a lot of balls, but not even that. Like, end of the day, we're just people from like
Area.
the area. Honestly,
yeah.
we're people from the area, and people are like, "Oh, you're funny enough, or you're relevant enough for me to capture a moment with you." You know, like for them, it means that much. Take a photo.
Yeah.
Bro, go fucking hard. You know what I mean? Let's take a photo shoot. Like, you know what I mean? I got
Let's get my
fucking
good side.
lights everywhere. Come to the car park. We'll do a fucking massive photo
Cause
shoot.
call Kyle, tell him set up the lights.
But yeah, no,
But
I
then again,
fucking
you do have,
appreciate it.
but you do have the 5-10% that Moe, like they'll come up to you.
Oh
"Cuz."
yeah. But even those like 5-10%, if they're like, Moe, say something, like, I'll 100%.
Tame 'em right away.
Yeah, I'll just play the part straight away because if that's what you enjoy, I'm never gonna take that away from you. You know, like if it's whatever you enjoy, I will always be catering to what you enjoy. And if that's what you enjoy, I'll always fucking do it. You know, and I appreciate whether it's a Moe, whether it's a oh my god, can you say something or. Like, I feel like I am very different from my videos. I fucking hope to God that I am very different from my videos. Otherwise, there's police at the front. Raptor squad's going to be there and fucking...
Raptor
"Open up!" Yeah. But, no, I genuinely enjoy every interaction that I have with anyone that comes up to me. And I like to actually get to know them a little bit. I like to like get to know their name or talk to them. because I don't want them to ever think that I'm a dickhead or an asshole or whatever, or that fucking it's gone to my head.
Yeah.
You know, even though my head's fucking a balloon at this point, but I will always try to take the time to speak to anyone that approaches me, man.
For sure.
I enjoy it, bro. And you're the same. I know you're the same as well, bro.
Right. I try and keep it as like, you know, as respectful and civilized as possible. Even like another thing to add to that, also try and get feedback. Like, oh, you know what? Like, what's your favorite video?
Yeah.
And then like I've had a few people buckle, and they're like, oh, they're like, bro, I think the video where you were in the car. I'm like, bro, all of them are in the car. What are you talking about?
The video where you asked me to change my mind,
It's one of them ones. Yeah.
Bro, do you know how many times I've been confused as you? I swear, I don't know if it's
Bro,
the eyebrows. I don't know what it is, yeah?
Cuz that's an insult, cuz. Look at my hairline, look at yours, cuz.
Brother, my hairline. Yeah, I know, bro. Sorry.
Cuz.
I know. I got my
I don't care about it, but
But no, people come to me and they're like, hey, you can't change my mind. I look at them, I'm like, you got it. I don't even
cuz
say,
I'll take it.
I swear to God, I go with I'm not going to ruin their moment. If
Yeah,
they
of
think I'm
course.
you, fuck yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Then I just start swearing and stuff. I'm like, fuck you, that's I ruin your name. So it's-
Yeah. Next thing you know, my wife is messaging me. I saw you.
this bitch?
Like you were in Chetty on Snapchat. No.
No, people actually do. Like, I've had a few interactions. They're like, "Oh man, you can't change your mind. You're killing it." Blah. I'm like, "Thanks so much. Really appreciate it." Blah,
I'll
blah,
just
blah.
take the credit anyway. Yeah.
I try to make you look as like. I try to be like as best that I possibly can make you look. I will
I
try.
find that happens to me in Sydney, not here.
Yeah.
Like here, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're Teddy. I know who you are." And then like I'll be walking in like Pitt Street in Sydney, and people will be like, "Where's your Gucci hat?" And I'm like, "Cuz
Wrong person.
not here, man." I'm like, "Not here." And then
Not
they're
in
like,
Sydney.
"Oh man, you look like that Ibby guy." And I'm right, like I freeze up, because I'm like so a bit socially awkward. I'm just like, "Cuz I can be Ibby if you want me to be, but yeah, all right, sure."
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
it, man.
100%.
Like, so-
I enjoy it, bro. It's,
Yeah, it's a laugh, man.
Yeah, it
a-
is. I don't know. It's like having interactions with these people, bro. I think it's a blessing in itself, man.
sure,
They're the
for
people
sure.
that are. The reason we are where we are is because of those people. So I feel like it's always
100%,
good.
man. But now you're at a level where, you know, you just do it nationally. Bro, you've made it this far into the podcast. The least you could do is take a screenshot, put it up on your story, tag us at Strong No Sugar to let us know that you're listening. Appreciate it. All right, guys, my go-to for anything coffee is Inglewood. Now, Inglewood are a specialty roaster in Melbourne, aka the coffee capital of the world. So Inglewood Coffee are powering cafes all over Melbourne and Australia, and now they're powering this podcast too. So their coffee ranges from world-class blends all the way through to single origins. So Inglewood hooked it up with a mad discount for everyone that's watching or listening this podcast with a 40% discount. Jump on their website for 40% off. Just type in the code word Teddy40. Inglewood also do a sick deal. Anything over $50, it's free shipping. Shipping is on them. So go and grab yourself some coffee beans or some merch at inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au. Let's talk about probably like transition from like online videos, which is like what's your longest video? A minute?
A minute. Oh, I used
Minute
to
and a
make a
half.
little longer on Facebook.
Yeah.
I used to I try to dedicate a lot more. It was 2 minutes, maybe at tops, 2
Yeah.
minutes. But transition was crazy, bro. I didn't know how I was going to respond to it because I never did stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
You know, like I've never had even a single second on stage where I was doing stand-up comedy. It was all online. That's all I was doing.
And I remember you telling me like, but in the back of your mind, you always wanted to do stand-up comedy.
Yes.
Okay.
Stand-up comedy has been my thing, or the thing that I wanted to pursue before I was doing videos. It was always like I would watch people do stand-up comedy, and I'm like, how do I get there? You know, because like I was saying at the start of this, humor's been part of my life, and I think the biggest, for me personally, the biggest achievement in terms of comedy is stand-up. That's the way that I see it. Of
course.
So I'm like, how do I get to the biggest achievement in comedy, which is stand-up? And I was lucky enough to create a different path for myself where it was like make videos, and be able to tour nationally. But it was a very, very, I didn't know what to expect, because when you do videos online, and like I was saying, I've said this before, you're not getting feedback, right? You get a comment, you get a like, a share, or whatever it is, but that's not real-time laughter. You know what I mean?
It's just an emoji.
It's just an emoji, exactly, or fire emoji, or
Yeah.
fucking, you know, like
Prayers up.
yeah, something like fists or something. Like, you want to go, bro?
Free the boys.
Yeah, exactly. But so I was like, how am I gonna be able to transition from doing online, where you're not seeing people, you're not getting any interactions in real time, to be able to then go onto a stage. And it wasn't like I did like a 10-minute or a 15-minute sort of spot in a comedy lounge or anything. I literally went from not doing anything on stage to touring nationally with my own special, like an hour plus of just non-stop jokes. And honestly, like looking at it now, it has been the most amazing, like incredible, surreal experience of my entire fucking life. Like I always knew, and I know it sounds like cocky, but it's more so like confidence, not cocky. But I
That's going in my
knew,
bio.
Yeah, exactly. I always knew that I would do well in it because I've always thought about it. How would I do
Mentally,
it?
like you were there.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, it's honestly like manifestation. I always imagined myself walking on the stage, how I'd walk around, how I'd hold the mic, all that stuff. I had a visual in my head years ago. Yeah. And then to be able to go and actually do it, it turned out better than what I could have ever imagined. And the reactions and like people's laughter and everything, honestly, you got to get onto it, bro. You will fucking love it.
Bro, I think this is a tricky question. Don't answer it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But out of all the cities you went to, which city turned it up the most? Like, as in, I'm talking like they were pissing themselves laughing.
Bro, it was different. Like
It was
is that
different.
politically correct? Yeah, see that one? I love you all.
It's like Drake. Drake just goes, yeah, cuz you guys have been amazing.
What city we in? What city?
Sydney.
It was the best, hands down though, honestly, were Melbourne and Sydney.
Yeah.
Like their reactions were second to none.
Do you feel like they just get it?
The humor's tailored more for them, you know? And that's my main audience are Sydney and Melbourne, but everywhere, they fucking loved it. It was it was weird to be in Adelaide and people were laughing about certain jokes and I'm like, I didn't even think you guys would have understood this, but you guys are fucking loving it.
Yeah.
There was one show in Sydney though. One show in Sydney. It was my second show there. It was my last show there, and the reaction was like fucking crazy because I started interacting with the crowd and stuff. I started making fun of people in the crowd. Yeah. And I could honestly at one point feel the stage, like because of the laughter, it was honestly like I could feel it moving a little. That's how I felt. Probably it was like dead. I don't know. It was really quiet. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone loves this. But that show was crazy. And the Melbourne shows, like it was just all around, it was fucking amazing. But I feel like Melbourne and Sydney.
Home.
Melbourne, that's why I'm doing one more. You know, like Melbourne's home for me. So I got to like end it off here because it means more to me. Yeah. But everyone's reactions were fucking insane. But I fucking loved it, man. It was it was crazy, bro. It was honestly crazy.
And you felt like you got better with time, I'm assuming, because I went to your first show.
Yeah, you were at my first show.
And that first show, I was like, man, this is going to be interesting because literally you haven't said this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've said it probably to yourself in the mirror.
Exactly.
You've said it to like the boys or whoever, the girls,
100%.
the family.
Yeah.
And then, jumping on stage. But like by the end of it, I'm like, what a sick cunt.
Thank you,
Smashed
bro.
it. So I can only imagine that your last show would have been even better because like you were a lot more confident.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I didn't know how I was gonna. Like for me, it was a learning experience because I'm like I need to learn how to do the pauses, how to react to when they're laughing a lot. Continue on with that, or when they're not laughing, move on from that. You know, that was all something that I was learning on the go. Essentially, it's like going to a new job and they're like, go do the biggest fucking thing that we have with no experience at all.
Yeah.
You know.
Brother, gonna need a deposit first.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Money or, but yeah, no. From the first show to the last show, I think there was a good amount of progression in terms of I was more confident in the silence. You know, there was longer silences, longer pauses. My tone really changed as well over time in terms of like in the first show. I think I still did okay in the first show. You know, like it was
smashed it. Honestly,
yeah, it was like I've done it before, but over time, you just get better and better and better. I feel just like with videos, for example, like you do it first, you don't know how to do it properly. Then over time, you're at a point where it's natural. Yeah. And that's what I want to get. I want to get to a point where stand-up comedy is like my main thing and it's natural for me, and the rest is just extra. But and you're right though. Like I had never shown anyone my stand-up comedy. Like I wrote the whole thing. I practiced the whole thing, legit in my room with a fucking TV remote. That was my microphone.
I thought you were going to say a Rexona can, but
I wish I had a Rexona can, bro. Give me your one, because bro, right now, fucking the cameraman's fucking falling over from the stink, bro.
there's no one in the background anymore. Man. It's like COD zombies, bro. Everyone just died.
But yeah, no, over that's what I'm most proud of. I'm most proud of the fact that I went from nothing to that. You know, I'm proud that I went from not having any experience to being able to do a 1 hour special.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any help from anyone
Yeah.
in terms of direct help. Like there was always influences, but it was never like, hey, can you take a look at my stand up
Yeah.
to see if you think it's funny or
Second
not?
pair of eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It was just me, and then I went straight onto the stage. So I don't know. Incredible was I can't explain it to you, man. So are you gonna do it though?
Shout out to the supporters out there, man, because they're the
Big
ones.
time, man. I can't,
Fuck, man, everyone came out.
bro. The fact that people actually spent money to come and see me talk, to me, that's fucking like surreal, bro. Like the thing that I told myself was, even if one person comes to this show, it's a success. Even if one person spends money to come and see me, that to me is a measurement of success. I ended up being able to do 4 shows in Melbourne, now doing a 5th, 2 shows in Sydney, Adelaide, Gold Coast, Brisbane. Supposed to do Perth, but because of all the restrictions, we had to cancel that one.
Yeah.
But from going, like I announced 2 shows at the start, it ended up going up to 10 shows.
Perfect.
So like the fact that people, that's why I'm always so humbled by the responses to people, and that's why I'll always try to go out of my way to talk to people, because these are the people that will then come and see you in your show.
Yeah.
Come and support you. Like after the show, people came up to me, they're like, "Oh, we came to your show. It was fucking amazing." And I felt warm.
What a
because
G
of
up,
that.
man.
Yeah, like like you actually came to my fucking show, and I'd ask them, "How'd you like it? Was it good? What do you think I could have done better?" And when they say this is what you could have done better, then it's on. I fucking crack them in the face. You know what I'm saying?
Just drop them.
See you fucking
Catch you
later.
later.
Don't
Left,
talk to
right,
me.
good night.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fucking. It was amazing. It's like it's a dream come true, bro. Like for 11 years old, I've been imagining and dreaming of doing stand up, and then I was able to do it. That's literally my dream come true. Like what more could I ask for? Fucking incredible, bro.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's honestly been fucking incredible, bro.
That's good. Another tour in mind, or sort of still figuring it out? You
I
want to do
will
the Melbourne show?
I'll do stand up every year. I'll have to now. Like I'll do it once a year, like a tour nationally every single year. I eventually want to make it as big as I possibly can, so that I can make it my main thing, and I can go and travel the fucking world doing my own shows. But I'll only do it once a year. If you do it more than that, like from what I've seen in terms of stand-up comics and stuff, there's certain comics that can do it more than once a year, like the Chappelles.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, that's the GOAT, man.
He is probably the greatest of all time. He is literally, he's in a class of his own, man. He's not even a comedian. I've told you this. We had a conversation about this, bro. Like a proper we sat down, we both cried over Dave Chappelle.
We just whipped it out.
But Dave Chappelle is in a class of his own, man. He is on another level. And if I aspire to be that great where I can go on stage and like just
Crush it.
without even trying, bro.
Yeah.
He's fucking amazing, bro. And he's getting spear tackled as well. He fucking,
Yeah,
everyone's
I
getting
saw,
slapped,
man.
bro. And that's why fucking comedy right now is a bit, how you going,
No,
bro?
man, we might have to take some MMA class or something, bro.
I thought, don't worry, bro. Come to my cousin's gym, bro. We got you covered.
Get the boxing bags
But
up.
what are you gonna do? Stand up comedy?
Honestly, I just want to focus on this podcast initially. I'm looking at Melbourne Comedy Festival next year,
Yeah,
but bro, like, it's no secret what the Melbourne Comedy Festival is like. I'm happy to say this on camera as well. It's very hard. Like, they just give you the name, right?
yeah,
So it's like, oh yeah, you pay us.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
say you're performing at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. We'll give you some room in RMIT,
Yeah.
and then you sell it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I don't think I want to do it this way, because like everyone thinks like, oh, Melbourne Comedy Festival is like the pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
And
It's
then they're
not
like,
though.
they're not. They're bro. You just pay them and they give you the name,
Yeah.
and then you work it out.
But don't get me wrong, it's fucking amazing what they do, right?
120%.
But you're right. You're
Going up against
100%.
20 comedians.
Yeah.
The only ones that they look after are the international ones. And I'm like, bro, like here I am, Aussie, my passport. So I have my passport, bro.
You got
I have
one
my
too?
passport, Australian
Oh,
citizenship.
you must have got it from the same guy. I
the
got it
blue,
from.
yeah,
in the
100%
van in
cut.
the street. Sick.
Right, I just slipped him a pineapple, and it was like sweet.
He was
Cuz.
happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like mad. I was like, I thought that'd be like a bit more supportive of like Aussie acts. And then like the more I speak to him, and the more I speak to people that have done it, they're like, it's a bit of a hustle, man.
People think, and you're 100% right. People think that Melbourne Comedy Festival, if you're associated to them, then you've actually made it.
Yeah, you're goated.
But it's different. If
Right,
you're able
very
to do
different.
your own thing,
Yeah.
then you've actually gone past the Melbourne Comedy Festival, you
120%.
know? Like, again, I'll say, like, they kill it, whatever else it is, but you're right. Like, we're doing something where it hasn't really been done. Like, we're literally from nothing. We've built an audience.
Yeah.
We're doing what we love to do, and it's attracting a lot of people into it. You would think that would be
Encouraged.
that would be invitation for all the bigger sort of things to be like, holy shit, how do we support these guys? How do we then take these guys from here to here? Do you know what I mean? I'm grateful. I've got like a fucking good team that approached me.
Shout out to the
Group.
team.
Yeah, the Our Group, they fucking killed it. They crushed it all for me. And I'm grateful, and I'm forever grateful to them for that. You know what I mean? But you're right. Like, and I feel like the Melbourne Comedy Festival, or any other comedy festival, isn't the pinnacle of what we want to do.
Yeah.
It's doing your own thing. And I would say to you, just explore. Look at me giving advice already, but I've done one
Thanks,
tour.
Kaz.
I've done one tour. I think I'm the fucking
Bro,
giving advice to everyone.
Roll the entrepreneurial music. Kaz, give
In
it.
a time where people weren't doing comedy, Teddy and I, very well. But no, even doing, so I'm assuming then you're trying to contemplate between doing your own shows or doing like going to the lounge or whatever.
Yeah,
doing it there.
or even just like doing it like yourself, right? In the sense of like just private, just, hey, you
Yeah.
know what, sell out my own thing. And
You
then,
could do it, bro.
Maybe. Thanks,
I
thanks for
guarantee
the
you
vote
could
of
do it.
confidence, guys.
Yeah, no,
I'll record it and I'll give it to my family.
Show it, bro. Put it as your fucking ringtone or something. But 100%, I was in the exact same mindset of you. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to do well or not yet.
Yeah.
But, bro, you've got a massive following. People like what you're saying, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's
you-
different, man.
Yeah.
What we do is different, man.
Exactly.
We're catering to a subculture that hasn't been catered to. I think the closest being catered to is probably like Fat Pizza and
Yeah.
Superlog.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That's all there, 100%.
That's it.
So that's why we're lucky because we're able to go into a niche where there's not a lot of, now there is with all the TikTokers and all this stuff, you know?
Objective, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more in the scene now than what
Yeah.
there used to be, I feel personally.
Yeah.
But in saying that as well, we've got an advantage because we have a very big, multiple big
Audience,
platforms.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think you could crush it, man.
Thanks,
I
bro.
think you could honestly fucking kill it, bro.
Inshallah,
And worst
we'll
case
see, man.
scenario, bro, if you don't kill it, I'll run on stage naked, bro. Take attention away from you because that'll fucking shock everyone, bro. What the fuck is that? Chewbacca? Like,
Bigfoot, we finally found him. Get him. ASIO, get him. No, that's really good, man. Look, I hope to one day probably pursue that. You know, podcasts and probably videos are still, because it's still, like what I'm doing is at its infancy. Like
Yeah.
as much as like, as big as it is or whatever it is, I still feel like there's still got to be a bit more maturity.
Yeah.
Because you realize like the people who first follow you, and then you get like a newer crowd in, and then sort of the old people are like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
it's not the same. And it's
Yeah.
like, but I just got better at what I'm doing. So maybe,
Exactly.
you know, you prefer like that. There's like a difference between like, you know, professional porn and amateur porn. Like,
yeah, man. I like how everything just relate back to porn, bro. That's our like mindset.
you know,
huh?
you're like, you can't compare the two,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, yeah,
Oh,
man.
fuck, amateur porn is good.
That's your segue into it, man.
bro. Now let's open up the conversation. How good is porn?
So now we get to the last segment. Our cousins start stripping. We invite the guests, and then and then at the end of it, we get into
Is that
it.
why I'm sitting on a couch? Oh,
Right, that's the casting couch, cuz.
fuck my life, bro. But no, you're right. It's you get better at what you do, and then sometimes people feel that as they feel like
It's
you've
commercialized.
changed.
Yeah,
exactly.
like it's commercialized. Like, bro, I recorded one video with a microphone. You can go back to that video right now
All the
and look at the comments. Who do you think you are? You got
Yeah.
a microphone.
Do you
Get back
know-
in the car.
That is exactly why I haven't used a professional camera. I've got a professional camera at home, like a nice, good camera that I could use to make my video quality next level. But the only reason I haven't done it is because I don't want people to feel as though I'm like making it commercialized. I'm making it like, oh, Ibi's actually gone like, and that's why I don't advertise a lot of like stuff on my social media. Like I won't do a lot of like.
How many opportunities do you get, honestly?
Bro, a lot. You get
Bro, it's
fucking
crazy.
crazy amounts. But my mindset was, now I'm doing more because now it's my full-time thing. You got to make
Yeah.
an income. You can't
Yeah.
always cater to
Can't be
everyone.
fussy, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to be able to do. I'll still pick and choose
As long as it makes sense.
as long as it makes sense for who I am, and I'll only endorse something that I'm like, I can actually get behind this. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things that you turn down, and I always had the mindset of like, I don't want to advertise everything on my social media because one day I'm going to do my own stand-up or I'm going to do my own podcast. I'm going to do my own thing that I want people to then be able to click over to that or pay for that or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So I'd rather wait until I do that. So then people are like, he doesn't advertise anything. This must be a legit thing.
Yeah.
If that makes
Sure.
sense. So
You don't want it to get lost in all the other ads. And
yeah,
like
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, 100%. But everyone's got to eat, bro. You got to fucking do what you have to do these days, man.
100%, man. That's why we try and help out each other as much as possible. I think also being from Melbourne, it's not as crazy as it is in Sydney. Like in Sydney, there's so much opportunity.
There
Like,
is, yeah.
You know, honestly speaking, if like we were in Sydney, it'd be a whole different ball game.
Yeah, man. I feel like each state is different in its own right, but Sydney's very fast orientated in terms of money. Like everyone's
sure.
business there, business. Melbourne's a bit more chill, a bit more relaxed. Like and each one's got its advantages. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, fuck, I really wish I was more in a more fast-paced environment where it's like money. How do I make the most in the shortest amount of time? And then sometimes you're like, fuck, I just want to relax and enjoy what I'm doing a little bit. So no, you're 100% right with that. But I know you'll crush it.
Inshallah,
I know,
all in good time,
inshallah.
man. Honestly, I just want to sort of get everything started and then get the ball rolling. And whenever that opportunity does come up, obviously I'll reach out to you because
Don't,
you're,
bro. I don't know what
you're
advice
the
I'm
only
gonna give
person
you,
I
bro.
know. So it's like, cuz,
Please,
what do I
like,
do?
how'd you go?
Yeah, man. So you plan on doing stand-up comedy every year. In terms of videos, you sort of just going to keep crushing it?
I'm gonna.
Or do you feel like you're going to eventually
Look,
taper back?
eventually I'll phase out of videos.
Yeah.
Like how long can you keep doing videos for? You know what I mean?
6 years, bro. Like,
6 years I've been doing it for. It's a long time, and I'm finally able to do now what I fucking have been dreaming of, which is stand-up comedy. I eventually will make stand-up comedy my main thing. Like it right now. It basically is on par with videos.
Yeah.
Like I've done my first ever tour, and I'll do that every year, and I'll give the most amount of attention to my stand-up because that's where I want to be. And there's only so much you can do in terms of videos and stuff. Like I'll continue to do it because I actually enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
But when it ever reaches a point where it becomes more of a task than it does like something that I enjoy, then I'll turn around and I have to reevaluate. Is this worth doing? You know? And eventually I'll get to a point. I pray that I get to a point for all of us, from you and me, that we get so successful that we don't need to be relying on the constant growth of videos.
Yeah.
You know? Like I'll always have a special spot for it and I'll continue to make it for as long as I can. But there'll be a point where I'm like, you know what? So excuse me. I'm not getting emotional. I'm burping.
I was going to say, man,
I'm
cue
just
the
gassy.
piano.
Yeah. But I'll get to a point where I feel like I'll outgrow the videos.
Yeah.
You know, and then eventually that's when I'll be like, all right, it's time to sort of cut down on the videos. I think I'll make videos for as long as I'll be living, basically. I'll be making videos in one way or another. It may not be the way that I'm doing it now, but it will progress into something different over time. But I will eventually make stand-up comedy my main focus. And it's not a matter of, this is what I said before I did my first ever show. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
So it was a situation of, I never thought, oh, if I do stand-up comedy one day, it was like, when am I going to do stand-up comedy? And now it's a situation of like, it's not if I travel the world one day doing stand-up comedy, it's just a matter of when I'll travel the world and be able to do stand-up comedy. So
You'll crush it, man.
yeah, I hope so,
Especially-
bro. You and I
especially
both,
like-
man. We
Right, especially like overseas, man. When they, because it's funny here, we look at like overseas stuff. We're like, man, that's crazy. And then like I've got people that follow me from Canada, like, which is weird, right? And they're like, man, it's so hilarious. And I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, you're like from Vancouver, man.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
Drake?
like,
Oh.
yeah, exactly. And they're like, oh man, you're hilarious. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm surprised because a lot of people usually are turned off by the accent, or they're
Yeah.
sort of like, nah, turn this shit off.
Especially because the way we look and then we talk and you're like, I'm confused.
So it's like a dog that's meowing. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I can't compute. But you know what it is? I think Australian humor is like fucking the best humor in the
100,
world.
100.
I actually find it when I'm watching American comedy, whatever it is, it's sort of like, fuck, it doesn't hit the spot.
Yeah.
Like Australian comedy for me is like fucking like Carl Barron,
Yeah.
whoever else, like it's like fucking hilarious. Putting some stand-up comics to the side, obviously, like the Chappelles and stuff.
Yeah.
But Australian humor, I think, is like the best humor. So that's why it's universal. And that's what I want to get to a point where I can just be doing it on a global scale. One day, I know one day, you and I both, man.
Like you
we'll
said,
do it.
man, it's not a matter of if, it's like when.
Yeah, exactly.
When
right,
that time
man.
comes, man, you'll crush it. And, you know, like, I'll get there one day.
No, we will, bro. No, 100%,
for
bro.
sure,
I'm
my
telling
man.
you, we will.
No, honestly, man. So I think, yeah, man, that pretty much, sums everything up. I just want to say thank you for coming down.
Well,
I
thank you for
appreciate it,
having
bro.
me, man.
This got delayed like 3 or 4
Yeah,
times.
bad. Typical
And you're
ethnic
finally-
situation. I'll be there soon. I'll be there soon.
Because, I don't know, man, my Ferrari's broken down. I don't know if my cousin can drop me off. But thank you for coming down, bro. Well, I
Bro,
appreciate
honestly,
it, man.
Thank you for having me, man. And
Nah, it's all
you're
good.
crushing it, bro. Honestly,
Thanks,
you're
bro.
fucking killing it, bro. To be able to do a podcast now, do you know what I mean? And we're still early in our careers, bro. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
Like to be able to now do it, you're doing podcasts now. You got your videos. You'll eventually like branch out into stand-up comedy. I'll eventually branch out into podcasting.
Yeah.
Like it's adding extra layers onto what we're doing, and
For sure.
that for us, like we should be very, very. We should be grateful, but we should also be very proud of ourselves as to how far we have come so far. Like, think about it. 2 guys from the fucking area just kicking it, doing normal shit. Drop kicks, basically. I don't know about you, but I was fucking drop kick. And
I was just a drop kick that worked at Macca's. That's
yeah,
it.
bro. I didn't even have the Macca's part. I was just a drop kick. But to be able to then go and doing what we're doing now, like, think about it, bro. Like, it's... I'll forever be humbled by it, but I'll always forever be proud as well, bro. Even if for tomorrow, if I was to die, and God forbid I do, but if tomorrow was to die, at least I can look back and be like, we've done good amount of things, you know
Of course,
what I mean?
man. Well, we've done good, and I think with online stuff, you like you said, you really can't gauge that you've done good.
Yeah,
100K views or 1 million views, but you only get like 100 comments.
Yeah, exactly,
Or you
man.
know, like a couple of messages saying, "Bro,
Yeah.
you're the funniest. I enjoyed your videos." Yada yada.
Exactly.
That's it. So we'll really never know, but knowing that we put the good out there, that's all that matters. And
100%,
yeah, man.
man.
Thank you.
But
Coming
thank you for
down.
having me, bro.
Give me a kiss,
Fucking
man. After all of that, man, I was like, oh man, you're getting me all warm inside and everything, right? My man, appreciate it.
Thank you, my bro.